Let's talk about portals. I'm here with Hugh MFA, who's going to guide us through the portals experience in a nice, concise way. This goes in tandem with the podcast we released with Gomez. Hugh, thanks for helping us. And how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here and give you a quick rundown and some gameplay experience.
Amazing. Thank you. So Portals Maximalist, self-described. You've been here since before the mint 2021. So we can kind of get a nice blurb. Portals, for anybody that doesn't know, playing create games on the Roblox of Web3. That's kind of their narrative. How would you describe Portals kind of started off back in 2021?
So way back when it was really, in line, all the metaverses had coming out. Facebook had just changed its name to Meta, and Portals was really supposed to be more of a social platform where you maybe have a little piece of virtual land that you decorate and can invite your friends to show it off. It was more oriented towards NFT collections and creating communities for them where they could kind of all hang out and get to know each other. But as the platform developed over the last 3 years and they added more functionality to it, they discovered that there was a big opportunity to shift more towards gaming, which is where they're currently at. You have games like Fortnite and Minecraft, which have really been focused on user-generated content where users are creating their own games. And Portals has kind of taken that model ever since.
Cool. So I'm not familiar with, I know what Fortnite is. So now people can go and create their own games. I know that they could create their own maps, but now they can create games that are not like shoot 'em up games, or they are shoot 'em up games, or...
Yeah, I think it's fully, I'm not a Fortnite player myself, but historically they were just a battle royale game where it was kind of last man standing oriented. But now I'm kind of following along that they're shifting it towards, users can develop their own games and share them around. I believe those maps that you're referring to are the games, which is really what Minecraft has kind of been doing since the beginning. But it's interesting to see Fortnite make a major shift in, what their sort of content is to it being more user generated, and it just seems to be where the game industry is shifting as a whole.
You can create worlds in Minecraft, but you can also create games in Minecraft.
Yeah, I think you can put sort of games in your world and be in there to explain people how to play it. But not a Minecraft player myself. I'm familiar that it's a user-generated content platform.
Gotcha. But probably the best comparison would be like Roblox. Would that be the best kind of experience?
Roblox is definitely sort of what Portals is being aspiring to in Web3. And it's part of the reason you saw the shift of Fortnite, and I think even Minecraft to some extent, to me more about developing those games, because Roblox really blew up over I think the last 5 years to millions and millions of players and streamers, and it's kind of taken the entire gaming industry by storm and has forced them to kind of adapt to meet this demand for user-generated games.
Gotcha. So I know with Roblox for sure, yeah, you can create these little games and then they can monetize quite easily. And that's the kind of the push that Portals is now going for, where people can build a game inside of Portals. I mean, this is not my forte, but you can create a game in a quite an easy way, similar, I guess, to like Sandbox in the EVM world. Would that be a bit of a good comparison, or not really?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Sandbox definitely been involved in gaming in particular and has kind of moved with the rest of the surviving metaverses to focus more on game development than just kind of social spaces.
What are you most bullish for about Portals? And of course, nothing will be financial advice, but you're a hardcore community member. You are a self-described maximalist, so you're keen to hear.
Yeah, so I think over the last few years, we've really been focused on just building up the technical infrastructure to be able to create things. It's always ongoing, but we're now really shifting into a phase of monetization for both the users, the players, and the builders of the different platforms. And that's kind of what my original vision was for this is, you can go and build something, you can go and play something and actually be able to get assets from it, both monetary and, collectible. I'm just kind of sitting, waiting for this moment to happen where we made that shift between just core development to expansion and acceleration. And I think we're finally here.
Right now, you can go and buy NFTs, you can stake the NFTs, and then you get points. There's no direct information out on this. Generally in crypto, points will turn into some sort of token. So we're expecting some sort of token generation event next year. Now that's obviously speculation, but is there anything that you could say on that?
Yeah, I think that's good speculation. I'm speculating in a similar way that that will happen as well. The team is kind of hinting that the points program is going to end in the next month or so, and we typically know what happens when these points programs start to
Wow.
in Web3.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. So I didn't know that it was going to end in the next month. So that's pretty cool news. Did you want to just, this is your little world. Maybe you can walk around, I'll follow you, and then you can kind of tell us what's going on here.
Sure. So this is a world I built myself. I'm a big horror fan, and one of my favorite games is Little Nightmares, where you're kind of this small avatar running around a giant world with monsters and have to kind of avoid them and do different obstacles and challenges. And so, I just kind of built this game as an homage, I guess, to that Little Nightmares series. So in this game, you can see we're obviously very small little characters and in a very big room with lots of furniture. The goal of the game is to really find your way through this large room and get to the end of it to survive all the horrors that come along the way. And this is one of, I guess, 4 rooms that you kind of have to navigate and figure out. Okay, how do I get to the next step? And there's lots of little kind of like jumping challenges and obstacles you have to navigate. Yeah, I mean, I did this all myself. I'm not a designer. I'm not a programmer in any sense. I merely found, a variety of assets that were kind of publicly available on the internet and downloaded them to my computer before placing them in interesting ways to build this out.
How long did it take you to build this?
I did it very casually over a long time. If I really sat down and did it straight, I think each room of the 4 took me about 4 to 5 hours. So, really just a day or 2 of work if I was concentrating, but I was just kind of doing this with friends casually.
Okay, cool. Obviously, portals will be used for a gaming sense of kind of like Roblox. What do you feel like the age group targeted here is?
So I think, again, it's going to be that same age group for Roblox, kind of a younger audience, maybe 12 to 18, but obviously, Roblox has older players, Roblox has younger players. And so it's really a mix. And because it's UGC, some content is going to be for older audiences, while some content's going to be for younger audiences. I know Portals had actually built out like a full, like educational, early childhood education type game previously, which didn't actually go into the Portal's name. So that's a bit of alpha, but it's a mix.
Gotcha. And so what would you, like when Portals is, tens, hundreds of thousands of daily users, what will you be doing in Portals, do you think? I'm going on the assumption that you're not between the ages of 12 and 18, but you could be really into gaming. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I am a gamer, and I'm quite interested in some new experiences that the Portals team developed. One of them is called Villages, which is sort of a central hub that every user gets, where they can engage in various mini games and crafting of collectibles, which can be kind of extracted from the platform as NFTs and sold to other users for redacted, and will ultimately become sort of the face of Portals before you go out and explore other virtual worlds connected to your village that form the UGC.
Gotcha. So one thing, I mean, I have a limited kind of understanding of this, but one thing I thought would be, we'd see like, you'd have your crypto friends, your magical internet friends, at least in my age group, and you'd kind of jump into like a room and a voice chat, and you go and collect artifacts or whatever that you could sell or play some games, but you do that on like one screen, and then you just be kind of in between, meme coinering, DeFiing, sharing alpha and voice chat on the other. Do you think that kind of thing would play potentially?
Right. I mean, your village is your village, so people will be using it for different things. As a meeting spot, as a trophy room to show off your collectibles, as a place where you go and find other games that are connected to your village, or even play in your village itself to do the crafting and the other kinds of mini games that can lead to individual rewards.
Gomez, the CEO of Portals, linked me to this. So apparently Famous Fox Federation, they have their like town hall meetings in here, and you can play mini games and they do giveaways, and they've built out an entire like headquarters, which is pretty cool.
Right. And it's a similar idea to what Villages is aspiring to be, probably more focused on gaming than social, although there's definitely an opportunity to bring other people into your village and show them around. Yeah, I mean, it's a similar kind of idea, but Portal's team itself is developing this, and that's sort of where the main reward structure is going to be for people who are actively playing it for financial reasons.
Now, so you said sometime within the next month,
Hopefully.
hopefully there'd be, the end of the points program, potentially. Currently a link tree, we can have a look at secondary markets like Tensor or Magic Eden. We've got a couple of mythic items. I'm assuming you've just been, collecting. Of course, there's also loot boxes, which is covered in the podcast, but you can go into the game. Well, you can buy them, firstly. But secondly, there's a lot of loot boxes out there. You've probably been airdropped some by holding NFTs. You can go to the portals section here and then click on this. You enter the loot park and you can go and open them, and they will give you some of them will give you points, which may turn into a token in the future, who knows? Or they'll give you artifacts. Have I covered that kind of correctly?
Yeah, you open your loot box in this little world here, and you're either going to get a collectible that you can use as like an outfit or something like that in the game, or some points, which we're hoping turn into a token.
Gotcha. So you can go and buy them, you can go and sell them, or you can just go and open them. But if you're telling someone to get involved right now, would you say, hey, go and have a look and go and buy some things off the open market, like these sort of things? Or would you be more inclined to say, go grab some floor things, stake them, gain some points? What would be the alpha trade here?
I haven't actually done the math on this. There are some people that claim they have and say, loot boxes might be a better value right now, but I'm a staking maxi. I've been holding these things for a long time. I can know they'll continue to have value after a hypothetical token launch. And so I figure, instead of a one-time thing where, maybe there's some value at that point, having something that I can continue to stake over and over and have it there, hopefully indefinitely.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of these on other wallets that I've had since mint. So I wrote it up from the mint price to $10,000, and then now they're actually doing quite well. And then these are a new one. These are the Explorer tier. I just bought one of these the other day when I was chatting with Gomez. And I've staked this, so this is earning me points. But I have been told, and maybe you've got the math on this, that the alpha is, if you've got the capital, you can go for an Explorer, which this earns 100 points a day. Or if you go with the collection, which is less than 10x the price, this looks like, it's an 8x the price. This earns 10x the points. Is this a sweet spot of where you're going?
Yeah, I think definitely the best value right now is the collector, because it just gives you, more points than the ratio of price currently suggests it should. And so, if collector's at 2.2 because it gives 10x the rewards, then they should really be priced at 22. So there's maybe a 6 soul ARB, if you want to call it that, available right now in terms of, the points you could be extracting from these assets. So yeah, if you have the capital, that would be the one. I'm currently buying these. I think another nice thing is if you go in the Discord chat, Striders typically go for, it says 145 now, but you could probably get a Strider for around 100. And if you could, Striders give 10 times more than a collector. So that would be a great value.
Okay, so people they do OTC trading via Famous Foxes or something.
Typically, people don't want to list their Striders because it does give them so many points. And so the only real way to get them is to do an OTC in the Discord chat. And, even more can be said about that being true for the operators, which is even the next class up from the Strider.
So the operators, there's probably some sort of graphic that shows what the points breakdown on this is. I might have a quick look in Discord, see if I can find anything, unless you know of anything.
At least I can say it verbally, but an Explorer, let's say, gives 100 points per day. A collector is 10 times that at 1,000 points per day. Onyx is 10x that at 10,000 points per day. And then an operator is 6 Striders, which gives you 60,000 points a day.
Gotcha. And looks like I can see it here visually as well. I'll just put this on the screen quickly. So you jump into Discord, portals, points, Explorer, Collector, Strider, Operator. Wow. Cool. Okay, so I guess that covers that well. And then there's been some sort of confirmation that the points program is going to end within a month? Or is that just another speculation point? Or was it mentioned on Town Hall?
We'll call that speculation for now. I would pay close attention to this December 10th event with Toei. and Magic Eden is releasing their token, then obviously, with all that liquidity and attention focused on portals, that might be a good time for them to try and leverage some of that.
Gotcha. So December 10th, 11 a.m. Pacific time, you have to sign up with a form. So fill out this form, Discord username, blah, 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 blah. And then I guess it'll be in Discord, there'll be a link where you can go in and play and chat and whatnot. Brilliant. You've built this game that you showed us, but have you also like built a bit of a space or some sort of headquarters or anything like that?
Yeah.
Do you hang out in there? Because what I wonder is like, will I start to stream more and go to YouTube and Twitch, or would I also go to YouTube and Twitch and then randomly stream in portals and everyone kind of runs around and I have some of my team there answering questions or whatever? I don't know. I'm excited to see how it all goes. Because I have such a limited understanding of like how big gaming is, even though I know it's big. My last big gaming was like Call of Duty 3 many years ago. But I'm excited for what it is. I know that the game the book and TV or movie Ready Player One is clearly pretty cool, very, very relevant, and something like that could be potentially the future. But let me have a look at your space.
Oh, I just sent you I built a little clubhouse for Galactic Gecko, still a work in progress, but it gives you an example of a kind of a more social oriented or personal space where you could do some streaming. A cool house here that you can go inside. If you go to the door and hit X, it'll take you inside the little building. Where'd you go?
I'm in.
Gig security. I'm just trying to build in the structure of this house and need to fill it up with furniture next, but you can actually go outside here on the other side.
All right. Well, I think we've got a decent amount of information. Obviously, people can come into Discord. Is there any other closing thoughts you'd like to mention? Any opinions or alpha or anything else?
Yeah, I would be paying close attention, particularly over the next few weeks, to Portal's Twitter account and Discord. I think they're really starting to ramp things up now with their hypothetical potential, assuming they have one. I would expect it to come soon, and you definitely want to be staking. I think there's still value in getting in now and staking. I continue to buy over recent times and things. And yeah, I'm really excited for the team. They've done a great job. They've formed great networks in the Solana community. And I think they'll finally get some of the love that I think they've deserved for a long time now.
Awesome. Thank you. I'll link your Twitter for, I guess, people to go and at you if that's okay. But yeah, I'm excited to see what it's going to be like. I think there's one more thing that I think is very worthwhile to actually mention, and that is Scum and his Slime Studio. They're doing a whole redesign of things. So it's going to become something a little bit more like this.
And that's actually the village I was talking about, where your kind of central home base is going to be. That robot you're going to be able to send out on missions to collect resources that will be part of the financial aspect of this game moving forward.
That robot, so everyone can buy one of those robots or something.
I think there's one that comes with your village itself, and so you can kind of send it on missions. But I believe the collections have their own special robot above and beyond the generic one that everyone gets.
To create a village, you're going to need one of the NFTs.
No, I think it'll be open to the public. I think one of the things they're moving towards is making it as frictionless as possible, and so anyone can kind of come in here and be involved in this. And also, historically, you had to have an NFT to build a space, and I think we'll be moving to a world shortly that you won't even need the NFT to build a space. Anyone can come in here and create, and the NFTs will shift more to a way to accrue utility-based resources within portals.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But this is good. Thanks very much for your time. I'll put this out, and anyone that wants more information, all the links will be below. Join Portal's Discord. And if this blows up, get amongst it. I think it's pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited for it for sure. And I'm going to start sweeping a few NFTs, staking them, and then I'll see if I can live stream in here in the future.
Wonderful. Cool. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.